In 1908, an explosion 1,000 times stronger than Hiroshima hit Earth. No one knows what it was. On June 30, over the Tunguska River in Siberia, witnesses saw a column of blue light streak across the morning sky, brighter than the sun itself. At 7:17 a.m., the shockwave hit. Reindeer herders 40 miles away were thrown from their feet. Windows shattered in towns 200 miles distant. The blast was detected by seismic stations across Europe and Asia. But here's the strangest part: no crater was ever found. When the first scientific expedition finally reached the site in 1927, nearly 2 decades later, they discovered something impossible. 80 million trees flattened in a radial pattern, all pointing away from ground zero. At the epicenter, trees remained standing, but stripped completely bare, like telephone poles. Everything within 8 kilometers was incinerated. The explosion occurred 5 to 10 kilometers above the ground, not at impact. That's why there's no crater. Eyewitnesses described a fireball followed by a pillar of fire that reached 20 kilometers high. The sky glowed for days afterward. People could read newspapers at midnight in London, 5,000 miles away, from the atmospheric light scatter. The leading theory: an asteroid or comet fragment 50 to 60 meters wide entered the atmosphere and exploded midair. The superheated shockwave from the airburst vaporized everything below. But fragments should still exist. None have ever been conclusively identified. Alternative theories flooded in. Nikola Tesla, who was experimenting with wireless energy transmission at the time, was accused of accidentally targeting Siberia. Others suggested a black hole passed through Earth, or antimatter from space annihilated with normal matter. Modern computer simulations support the airburst theory. A stony asteroid entering at 54,000 km per hour would have generated the exact blast pattern observed. The pressure wave would have been equivalent to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT. But questions remain. Soil samples show elevated levels of rare metals consistent with extraterrestrial material. Magnetic anomalies persist in the region. Trees that regrow after 1908 show unusual accelerated growth rings in their cores. If the Tunguska object had arrived just 4 hours later, Earth's rotation would have placed St. Petersburg directly under the blast path. Instead of 80 million trees, it could have been 2 million people. We got lucky, this time. The Tunguska event proved that civilization-ending impacts aren't ancient history. They're ongoing threats. NASA now tracks near-Earth objects specifically because of what happened over Siberia. The next one might not hit an empty forest. Subscribe to explore more mysteries that changed how we see our fragile planet.